Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be how to make these Farmhouse Ray Dunn inspired Christmas wood signs. Now I had some scrap wood in my garage and I decided to make some of these and share how I made them. I am going to show you guys how I did it and the trial and error. But if you want a chance to win one of these, I will be giving away two of these at the end of the video. If you guys want to participate, the winner will be announced in a different video, but you guys can get a chance to win one of these. Like I said, I'm not a professional by any means, but I wanted to share how I made these signs with you guys. Me and my husband did go to Home Depot and we picked up this 1x2x8. It was $2.85. And you just want to make sure that the board is straight. So I did have him go ahead and make sure that the board is straight before we purchase it, because sometimes you could get some that are a little bit off. When purchasing these, you just want to make sure they're right. So this is a 1x4. Now I did have this in my garage, so I wanted to go ahead and use it. Now when you do purchase wood and it's like a 1x4, usually it's not really a 1x4, it's more like 4x5/16. Every wood is different. Just make sure you do measure. I'll put the information down in the description below of the sizes that I use for all the sides and the little wood block. But just sharing with you guys, I did do a 4-inch for the sides, as well as the board, like the block, that is 4 inches. So you just want to make sure that you do measure everything out, because you don't want one side to be off. What I do is I go ahead and just, use a ruler and mark it. I also make sure that I lean it up against the actual board as I'm sharing right here. I just want to make sure that it is flush against. As you can see, I did do it a little bit off, so I went back and I went ahead and erased it. So the first one is okay, but this one is a little bit off, so I want to go ahead and make sure it's straight, because then the actual measurements of everything will be thrown off. So I went ahead and redid it. Okay, once you have that done and it looks correct to you, you want to go ahead and go over to your miter box. This I did purchase at Home Depot, and I will link it down below. Anything that I can, I will link it down in the description, as well as the measurements. You want to go ahead and line up the line right in the center. This is where you'll be cutting, and you'll take your saw and cut down the wood. Just be careful when you are using this that you don't place your hand anywhere you should, and always wear protective eyewear just in case, some flying objects. Not that you'll have any flying objects, but just in case, just use protective eyewear, or if you want to use gloves. Make sure your placement of your hand is also not near the saw. I just want to make sure that I do tell you guys. I'm holding down the wood with my hand just to like place it and flush it against the miter box, just to make it easier when I am sitting there like actually sawing it down. But yeah, it does take some, strength to sit here and do that. You see the rough edges at the end. That's okay, because we'll sand that down. And then I'll be taking the 1x2 and also doing the same thing, lining up the lines. And then these little black pieces, I don't know what they're called, but they come with the miter box, and they're to hold down and help you, so the wood doesn't go everywhere. That's what they are there for. You place them inside the little like dots, I don't know, that are in there, and then you just cut down your wood. Once you do have your wood cut, you want to take a sanding block, just because the raw edges sometimes have extra little, like the wood cuts or splits. You want to make sure that you don't, have splinters. So for the bottom piece, what I do is I just put it up against the sides and the middle, and then I measure it. Just because sometimes it could be a little bit off, um, and I just like every wood sign that I've done is a little bit different, so that's why I just place it on the bottom, and that's how I measure. And then I go ahead and cut that down. I do have like a sample block in my stash, and these are the ones that I use as like reference when I do the wood signs, just to make the measurements a lot easier, and I'm not measuring every single sign. So that's why you did see that wood block. So once I have that down, I want to go ahead and take my sander and just sand those. But you could take a like a sanding block from Dollar Tree and just sand down the edges. Like I said, you don't want to, spend too much time. Just sand down the edges. On the bottom and top piece, you do want to make sure the edges are nice and neat, just because they're kind of more exposed than the side pieces are. Taking some wood stain, I am using this Minwax wood finish stain in the dark walnut. I've had this for a really long time, and just taking a rag. I do use gloves when I use wood stain, just because it does stain my hand, and since I want to do all sides of the actual um, the wood blocks, I want to make sure that I use gloves because it can get a little messy. So just make sure that you are using gloves for this. Um, I like to, just because of the, stain. Now taking Waverly chalk paint in the matte finish in crimson and Waverly chalk paint in the white. These I purchased at Walmart. They have the big sizes and these. So I want to just go ahead and paint the blocks. You can paint the sides if you want. You don't have to paint the sides because you don't see the sides, but I do recommend painting the back of the sign because of the fact that you will see this. Even if you don't mind, nobody's gonna see the back. I just prefer to paint the back side if maybe later you want to do a reversible sign, so it's, on both sides. I would just say just paint the back, just to make sure. But I do want to go ahead and paint this. I did about 2 to 3 layers of this. Chalk paint does dry pretty fast, so I went ahead and did a couple layers of it. Once I was done, I did do the white one, but chalk paint dries fast, so just work with it really quick because it will dry on you. So you want to make sure that it's not like all streaky.
So these are um, the vinyl stencils that I have. If you guys want an in-depth tutorial on this, I can share those with you guys, how I actually make these. They are made out of vinyl, Oracle 651. So I'll be doing the Merry Christmas on the white one. Sorry, I'm a little confused. So it should fit exactly on here. And then the red one is the hot cocoa. But let's go ahead and do the Merry Christmas one. What I'll do is actually just pull up the stencil and make sure that I'm picking up everything. Like I said, I can do these for you. Like I can show you a tutorial. I do have a Cricut Explorer 2. I don't have a Silhouette machine, but I do have a Cricut, and I can show you guys how to make those. But these, I made them so they fit exactly on the block. So I'm just gonna lay this on here. And I forgot to get my squeegee, so it's okay. I just push it really firm on the block because we're gonna be taking off this clear part. Okay, so once it's on there, you do want to take a squeegee maybe to press it down, but I'm going to show you guys how I do it. I do have a squeegee. I forgot about it. You want to take some Mod Podge. This is from Dollar Tree, and you just want to put a thin layer on top of it. What the Mod Podge, what it does, it actually makes kind of like a seal, so that when you are going to be painting over it with the color or the chalk paint, what it does, it kind of like helps you so that there's no bleeding underneath. So that's why I like to do the Mod Podge on top of the stencil, and it makes it look a lot cleaner. So it just makes a really nice like sealant so that the paint can come out nice and crisp and really nice actually. I've actually tried it, especially with wood, without the Mod Podge, and it's just way better to use the Mod Podge than anything. And like I said, just let it completely just dry. Even if you let it dry for a while, that's fine. And you want to just make sure you do get those edges and creases. Now that I have the stencils on there with the Mod Podge already dried, like you can't even see the Mod Podge, I'm going to go ahead and take white for the hot cocoa, and then this crimson Waverly chalk paint on the Merry Christmas one, and just do one coat first, let it dry, and then do like 2 more coats. You don't want to do it too thick, because then when you try and pull off the stencil, then it kind of flakes off. So you just want to do 1 coat at a time. Let it dry, or else use a blow dryer. So just do really thin coats at first. Make sure you do get all the edges, because you want it to come out pretty nice and crisp. And these are going to be for you guys. So that's why I want to make sure that, you know, I do make these as good as possible. I mean, mine are obviously going to be the ones that I do like all my trial and error with. But since I'm going to be giving these away to you guys, I want to make sure that I do make them as good as possible. I don't mind mine as much, because like I said, they are mine. But if I'm going to give these away to you guys, then I want to make sure I am doing a good job. So I'm going to just let it, dry by itself. I'm not going to use a blow dryer, and then I'll do a couple more coats of the chalk paint.
Once it is dry, I want to go ahead and I have this Cricut weeding tool. You want to just peel off the vinyl and just be careful with it. Make sure it is dry when you are doing this. You also want to make sure that you don't stab the wood, because then you will see that, and you don't want to mess up your letters as well. Once you're done with that, I'm taking this Annie Sloan chalk paint wax. It's clear. This is what I had on hand, but you could take polyacrylic, you could take any type of other wax that you have. I just want to make sure that I am sealing this. Like I said, these are for you guys, so I want to make sure that if you guys do want to clean these off, that the paint's not going to come off. So I just want to apply a thin layer of the wax on top. Normally you can use these for chalk paint, so that's why I am using this. But you can use any type of sealer, and I'm just applying, like I said, a thin coat on top of the paint. So taking these 1 by 1/4 nails, these are by the brand Grip-Rite, and I did purchase them at Home Depot. Sorry, I couldn't think, but I am adding these. What I do is I first start nailing it into the wood before I actually put it onto the side. so that way it'll be a lot easier. Now I will show you guys an easier way just because I'm learning this as I go. You can add the wood glue, but I'll share that tip with you guys. But what I do is I just nail the sides, two to the sides to each side, and then two to the bottom on each side. And as you can see here, I'm just adding it on there. But like I said, you can add wood glue. It's really preference and what you have on hand.
I do recommend, and this is just from experience, using the wood glue around it. So what I would do is put glue on the edges and hold it down. So just put wood glue and then let it kind of sit. I put some weights on it so that they can stay in place. So that's how I hold it. Once it's dry, then go ahead and nail everything together. But I do recommend gluing it together first and then doing the nails because it's just a lot easier and a lot better.
And that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want a chance to win one of these signs, make sure you are a subscriber, you like this video, comment down below. I will be picking two random winners in one of my videos. I will be titling it giveaway winner. So it'll be probably the next couple videos. I am going to do this for a whole week. So make sure you do comment down below and make sure that you are here in the United States. You guys have a United States address just because shipping overseas is a little expensive. So if you guys did like this video, give me a thumbs up and I will talk to you guys in another one. Bye guys.